Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Thought I'd talk to you about partnerships in this video, and I'm going to try and keep it brief because I've tried this twice already and it's went up toward the 10-minute mark. So I'm not going to promote, neither am I going to condemn partnerships. I'm hoping to set up my own separate business, a separate business over the next 2 years, and with that I'm hoping to go into partnership with another man who is very business minded, and just where my lack of knowledge in this particular sector is, he is just totally tuned in and knows how to achieve it. So the benefits for me outweigh the negatives in that situation. But a number of years ago I had my own business in the Republic of Ireland to begin with, and whenever I moved up to Northern Ireland because of my wife, I established a new business up here. And at the time I was going to go into business with a friend, and you could say he was a new friend, but I had known him for a couple of years while I was up here, or a couple of years between going out with my wife and all that. So anyway, we were thinking of going into business with him, and everything seemed rosy, everything seemed great. He had an existing business, established business, with a cash flow every month. So you can see why I was drawn to it, because with setting up your own business, you've got your minimum amount that you need to earn every month, and I was going to definitely be able to achieve that by going into partnership with this guy. So anyway, you can see why I was drawn toward it. But as time went on, we just realized that this guy had unrealistic expectations and ambitions and ideas of where he wanted the business to go and how he was going to achieve it, and what we were going to do in order to achieve those goals of his. And the thing was, he was thinking from his perspective, right? See, this is the thing about partnerships, is that you've got to think from your perspective and what you're going to get out of it, how you're going to do that, and what it's going to involve. So anyway, he had all these ideas and ambitions of having so many crews on the road, which is great. But he also had ambitions of having a warehouse space and a big yard, and that we would end up having all these different services and crews doing these different things, and that we would be cutting wood and selling firewood as well. Now, what firewood has to do with window cleaning and cleaning services, I'm not sure where the connect came from in his mind, but it was just in cloud cuckoo land. Anyway, so that was where he was, and it was very ill thought out, right? He didn't have a very good thought process. He didn't have a very good thought process as to how he was going to achieve these things. He just knew where he wanted to go and was just running before he assessed the situation and thought about it realistically and knew exactly what we're going to do. So try and narrow this bit down so I am the experience. I said no because he was just going in a different direction than I was. He was expecting me to work 6 days, us to work 6 days a week, at least 12 hours a day, which is fine if you want to do that, but my priority was my family. I had a young family beginning out. So he wanted that, and it was just not in line with what I wanted. So anyway, he went into business with somebody else. This guy invested thousands of pounds into this business of his already. They spent money on new equipment, new vans, new signage, new websites, thousands of pounds on marketing, in newspapers. And they had the 2 partners and 2 employees. And then the 2 employees whittled their way down to 1 employee, and the partnership dissolved after 3 years, where the new partner bought out the owner of the business. And what ended up happening was, because this guy was so in tune with business thinking, was that in the contract that he had signed, he had stipulated that Colin, the guy who owned the business in the beginning, he was bought out, but he stipulated that he couldn't set up his own window cleaning business for the next 5 years, which is just standard, and that he wasn't able to do it within a 50-mile radius of the existing business. And that's fine, you know, these are good things to be aware of. But Colin allowed himself to get manipulated into a situation where he ended up in debt, massive amount of debt, because he was making sure that the employees were getting their wages every month, and that the guy who invested thousands of pounds, he was making sure he got his return on the investment every month, and then whatever was left over went to the owner of the business. So it was a very poor, a very poorly thought out partnership on his part, and he lost out his own business, and he ended up going and working in a call center selling mobile phone tariffs for his brother, his younger brother, which he always had an issue with. So his younger brother. So talk about feeling demoralized, you know, was how he felt after that. So partnerships can be a positive thing or they can be a negative thing. The thing that you need to remember from the beginning is you need to know exactly what you want from the beginning, what you want to get out of this partnership, how you're going to achieve that, and what it's going to involve. See, if you're not careful, what could end up happening is that you could end up sacrificing so much more over the next couple of years in that partnership than you would struggling to start up on your own. So with the business that I'm looking to establish, the rules that I have set up in my mind that are non-negotiable from the beginning is that I will retain 51% ownership of the business. Because it's a part cleaning, there's partly a cleaning side to the business. Rather than employing new employees under this new business and putting the pressures of the financial strain of making sure that you're paying people out before you got money coming in, I will subcontract out those services to my existing business. So I'm already making the money from the new services from my existing business. There's only going to be the two of us running the new business from the beginning, and whatever profits then are left over after the expenses of everything, including the expenses of my existing business, subcontracting prices, I will retain 50% of the profits, or whatever way we'll work it out, that there's money reinvested into the business. So whether it's, probably for the first couple of years, we'll just reinvest all the profits back into the business. So I'm going to get paid either way from this new business, and whenever the contract is drawn up, I will make sure that I have a solicitor or a lawyer to look over it who is educated in business law and knows how to, because this is the key part, is that a lawyer or a business lawyer or business solicitor, if you're getting them to do a job for you, they are looking out solely for your interest only. So if there's a contract that needs signing, they will make sure that if there's anything that you need to be aware of or needs changing, it'll be done from the beginning, and that you won't get caught, you know, in a bad position if everything goes sour. So partnerships can be a good thing or a bad thing. Just make sure you've got all your information, you know exactly who you're going into business with, because they're going to be looking out for their interests only. They're not looking out for yours. They view you the same way you view them, a means to an end of achieving what your goals are. If you get in the way of that, then things are going to get in the sour. Or if they get in the way of your ambitions and what you're hoping to achieve out of it, well, then you're not going to benefit either, are you? So it's just a different perspective from my experience. It was a bad one. It put me off going into business with other people for many years, but at the same time I know a bit more now what to look out for, and so I'm making sure that when I do go into business with a partner, that I know exactly what's going to happen and how to look after my own interests. Look at that, 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.